वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते 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 सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good morning, Shubhodayam. Today we shall learn something about leadership in the words of Swami Vivekananda. Yeah, please see page number 108. An English friend of mine named General Strong was in India during the Sipai Mutiny. One day in the course of conversation, I asked him how it was that the Sipais who had enough of guns and ammunition and were also trained veterans came to suffer such a defeat. He replied that the leaders among them, instead of advancing forward, only kept shouting from a safe position in the rear, "Fight on, brave lads," and so forth. But unless the commanding officer goes ahead and faces death, the rest will never fight with heart. It is the same in every branch. A captain must sacrifice his head, they say. If you can lay down your life for a cause, then only you can be a leader. But we all want to be leaders without making the necessary sacrifice, and the result is zero. Nobody listens to us. It's very clear and very plain. If you have a wish to become a leader, the first quality that you need to cultivate is sacrifice. You should have the capacity to sacrifice for the sake of your followers, otherwise, you can never become a true leader. Maybe when you have power, maybe when you are in a position of power, people will stay with you, people will be flocking around you. Okay? Attracted by your power and attracted by your wealth. But they will not, but they will not show you true allegiance. They will not show true loyalty to you. Because you are in power, position of power, because you have wealth, they will gather around you. But once actually wealth goes away, you are out of power, they will leave you. That's what the kind of leaders that we encounter today. But if you have true leadership qualities, through thick and thin, whether you are in a position of power or whether you may have wealth or you may not have, but they will be with you and they will be ready to die for you. Swamiji was actually giving the example of that 1857 Sipai mutiny. You all know, right? We could have won freedom in 1857 itself, but because the mutiny was failed, we had to wait for freedom for 90 years. We got in the which year? 1947. 1857 to 1947. Our freedom got delayed by 90 years. Actually, the Sipais far outnumbered the Britishers in terms of number, but still, actually, Britishers could suppress the mutiny because the leadership was lacking in. The leaders who were supposed to lead the contingents from the front, they actually stood behind and started shouting, "Go on, march forward, march forward." Leader should be in the front or in the back, rear. Leader should be in the front and should lead the contingent. No, all the great leaders we read about in history, they were actually standing in the rear, okay, and started shouting at the foot soldiers, "You move forward, brave lads, you move forward, brave lads." That's why Swami said, lack of leadership. Who said this to Vivekananda? British general only said, "You could have won, your Sipais could have won the battle, we could have lost it. But because of lack of leadership, we won," the British army generals told. That's why Swamiji talking about courage, an English man actually, an English boy, go and ask him. He feels that actually he was born only to conquer the world. Okay. 77,000 or 75,000 Britishers ruled 33 crore Indians. Such a small number. You think how many Britishers were there, you think? They ruled us nearly for 200 years. How all that was possible? Because of the confidence, courage, and the leadership. That's all. They could organize themselves well, but India, we were only just a kind of mob. No leadership, no organization. Otherwise, with such 33 crore people, how 77,000 people can ever rule 33 crore people for such a long period of time? Leadership is so important. Most of the times we don't understand. You just see now in political parties also. Okay, no leadership, true leadership. That's the reason. Even when there is power, also they don't want to show allegiance because the leader is so selfish. The leader is so selfish. He will encourage psychophancy. He has his own group of people, and he will give important portfolios to them because of selfishness. This way, no true loyalty, no true allegiance. Many people are not expressing. And that's why it's very important, if you really want to become a leader, you should be able to ready to sacrifice your life, your comfort, your interest for the sake of the people who trust you, who are following you. Otherwise, you can never become a true leader. And here, Swamiji is saying, but we all want to be leaders without making the necessary sacrifice, and the result is zero. He never becomes a leader in whose love there is a consideration of high or low. He whose love knows no end and never stops to consider high or low has the whole world lying at his feet. Somebody who can love everybody unconditionally. I won't put any conditions. I will love all equally. If you develop that capacity, you will become a leader. But if you are partial, you love some people more and some less, you cannot be a leader. Okay? You should have that unconditional love in your heart. Everybody is loved equally. No partiality is shown. Then you will become a great leader. I always remember, actually, I quote it again and again. It is attributed to Changiz Khan. I don't know whether really Changiz Khan said this or not. Changiz Khan, it seems he has said, it is better to be a sheep under the leadership of a lion than to be a lion under the leadership of a sheep. Okay? If the leader is a sheep kind of individual, even if you are a lion, You are a follower, but you are a lion. You have the capacity and capabilities of a lion, but your leader is kind of sheep. All your energy will go waste. You also will become a sheep for a period of time. You may be a follower, you may be just a sheep kind of individual. That means you don't have that much of strength. But if the leader is a lion, he'll bring out the best from you and he will make you a lion. This is what Genghis Khan is attributed to Genghis Khan. He said it's better to be a sheep under the leadership of a lion than to be a lion under the leadership of a sheep. From this one statement, you can discern, you can make out how important it is to, leadership is in our life. Leadership doesn't necessarily mean that, only the people who are ruling us, those who are heads of states, heads of countries, they are the only leaders in every organization, every department, every small place also. 4 or 5 people are there. You are actually coordinating the efforts, coordinating the work of all the 4 or 5. You have to play a leadership role. Okay? How best you can play this role depends upon how much you can sacrifice for the remaining people. Okay? If you are unconditional in your love, if you don't have suspicion, okay? If you are not partial to people, if you love all equally, then only you will become a leader. And Swami clearly says, first learn to become a servant, then you will become a leader. And everybody wants to assert, everybody, I want to become a leader, I want to become a leader, I want to control others. It's not possible. First try to become a servant. Then you will be fit to be a master. But first learn obedience, then afterwards you will become a master. But without that necessary sacrifice, if you aspire about to become a leader, you can never become a leader. So if you have this idea or desire or goal to become a great leader, learn to cultivate these qualities, character. Among all the qualities that actually that define your character, first thing is sacrifice. The first and foremost is sacrifice. Then you will become a true leader. Whether you have power or not, whether you have wealth or not, people will follow you because you have that metal in you. Thank you nicely.